What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today we are starting a new series called Behind the Lens. I'm one of the photojournalists here at WNDU, Davante Wade. And what Behind the Lens will be is basically it's going to be a series where we go out and we tell stories of people in the local community. And sometimes these stories, you know, they only have a time limit that they can run on air. So we want to do the Behind the Lens series to kind of take you guys more in depth to who these people are, the stories of the missions, and essentially give you guys a better understanding of the story itself. So with that being said, we have our first guest on today. I recently shot a story with him. His name is Brian Frazier. Everyone say what's up. Yeah. As you guys may know, we just recently did the giveaway story that Brian did. He's a big person in the community. He gives back. He's an entrepreneur. He's very active in his community, and we did a spotlight story on him. And today is a day for us to sit down with Brian and basically get to know him more, his mission, and the work he does. So, Brian, how you doing?
Man, I'm feeling incredible. Thank you guys for having me. And definitely, I think this is a unique element that you guys are adding to the shows to give people a little bit more, like you say, behind the scenes, behind the lens. So honored to be the first.
Love it, love it. And as some of you know, Brian is a WNDU alumni, so yeah, it's a full circle moment with him starting his journey in news and then worked his way to, you know, starting his own company now. And he's still giving back, and now he's back as a guest. So you gotta love that. You gotta love that. But Brian, I guess let's just first get to just tell us who you are. You know, kind of give us your background a little bit. I'll let you do it.
Yeah. So I'm from Buchanan, Michigan. Graduated Buchanan High School. After that, we went off to Tennessee State University. Got my degree in mass communication, broadcasting. It's been like 25 years, so sometimes it's a little foggy. But we got the degree, and I came back home, and the first job I got right out of college was WNDU. So I started like 8 days after I graduated from college. Did that for 2 years, then we did the circuit, so WNDU, WNIT, WHME, back to WNIT, and eventually I felt it was time to start my own business. So 2016, 17, unofficially, I think 2018 officially, we became licensed LLC. Been doing that ever since. I believe in 2021, we started the Frazier Kid Foundation, which is a nonprofit, to be able to take back and give our skills, give our time to the community. And from there, it's just been like just a snowball kind of effect.
We love that, man. We love that. Kind of talk about if you could, talk about the Frazier Kid Foundation, just for people who don't know what it's about.
Yeah, so Frazier Kid Foundation is basically our philanthropic, our nonprofit endeavor, where we started initially so I could just teach students the basics of video production. We have a studio on the west side connected to the Faith Alive Ministries Plaza. Students can come in. Over the past couple years, I think we've seen at least over 200 students come through that program. We're just kind of teaching them hands-on some basics of video production. Our whole thing was we wanted to teach the young people just some skills that they could use to generate income without doing anything illegal, without doing anything shady. So often in our community, you see these situations where, violence and things of this nature happens. And so we wanted to essentially, like, let's say we take guns out of people's hands and put a camera in their hand. So that's kind of the mission of where all that started. Since then, we've expanded. We do workshops, we do scholarships, we do college trips, a little bit of everything to introduce students to new pathways in life.
Love that, love that. As you guys know, I was able to go on the college tour with Brian and kind of document just kind of what that looks like of him giving these kids that experience. Brian, I want you to react to, I have a video of you talking to the kids. I want you to basically just kind of just react to this video and just kind of go in a little deeper of what the idea you were trying to get across to the students.
Okay.
I'm going to play that. Let me just line that up for you. Okay, that's playing.
Smile at people, laugh, meet
so
new people, introduce yourself to people.
I would say just give it a sec.
What else y'all use? TikTok. Go get a TikTok. Whatever you got to do, be personable. It can go a very long way, right? Somebody might remember you from a smile. Somebody might remember you from opening the door. Whatever you got to do, this is how opportunities happen. Smile at people.
Yeah, so basically, I think at that moment we were probably about to pull up to campus. And the culture of South Bend and the culture, we were going to Tennessee State on that trip, so that's my alma mater. The culture, they're two totally different cultures. And up here, even when I was in their shoes, when I was a teenager, you kind of walk around, you're not really smiling at people, not really being personable. It's kind of cold up here. Where down there is really the Southern hospitality kind of feel. So it took a while for me, and not even just me, but some of my roommates and my classmates who were from the Midwest to understand like that difference in culture. But once you understand it, you realize that it really opens up this whole new world of possibilities. So what I was telling the kids in that clip was, hey, lose the mean face, make sure you smile, make sure you show love, make sure you open the door. They welcome that kind of activity and behavior there. And you never know, on the other side of that hello, maybe somebody who's in your major, maybe a dean, maybe somebody who can actually help you advance in life. So that's all that clip was telling people, hey, I know we're from where we're from, and this may not be the norm where we're from, but now we're at Tennessee State, so let's let those personalities come out and shine.
I love that, and it's just a good example to speak to the youth, and let these kids know how to be outside of their immediate environment. And guys, just from what I seen kids inspired. I know a lot of kids look up to him, and I know they're going to be reaching out to you just for any life advice. And this is what it's all about, just finding people in the community that can speak to the youth. They know where their mindsets are. And, man, just seeing you lead that trip was just, that was inspiring to see, man. You got me one of the days when I get my everything together, probably make that move. But love to see that.
No, it was cool because, I don't know, I think especially culturally, we sometimes we don't speak. We don't go the extra mile to be nice, to be kind, to do these things. And I've learned over my life, I haven't learned everything and I don't know everything. But for me, those things have always been beneficial. Just being somebody who's kind, somebody who's polite, somebody who leads with positivity. And that's kind of what we were trying to convey in that message.
Love it, man. Love it. Moving on. Let's talk this studio, man. Guys, another part of the story we were talking about was this studio that he has. State-of-the-art studio. He got everything you need in there if you want to learn media. And, he gave me a tour of it myself. And let's just talk a little bit about, talk about the studio, the motivation behind the studio, and just, what you guys been up to.
Yeah, so the studio space actually used to be occupied by my mom and my dad, who they've been giving back to the community for a long time. So my dad used to help people when they would get released from prison. He would help them with resumes and help them go get jobs and things of this nature. And then that expanded to dealing with substance abuse and things of this nature. They would help the homeless and go feed and clothe. And this was the center for all of that activity. Like, this was the epicenter for all of that. So once my dad passed away, like a couple of years ago, and my mom, this is probably right around COVID, she's working from home. So I'm like, instead of just letting the space go to waste, let's take it and redo it for new purpose. And so really, between me and her, a couple other extras, but basically with her, she came in and kind of redid the whole thing, probably 90% of what you see in there. So none of that stuff existed previously. We call her Bob the Builder. So she's up on hammers. I think you've been in there a couple times when she was painting or hanging drywall and things of this nature. So we turned into a space where we can use just to teach young people. Half of it is set up to like an editing station. I think you're seeing that on the screen right now. I have a screen where the kids can kind of just watch me edit, and I can teach them that way. Then part of it is set up like a studio, so you can come and shoot your content and things of that nature. In the back, we have a recording area. A lot of people know, well, in my WNDU days, I never came to WNDU without about 30 notebooks where I used to write my music. And so, these people are probably long gone, but like a Doug Story, who was a producer here, say, oh, I see you got your notebooks again. You're going to be writing on your break between the 6 and the 7 o'clock. So music was my first love. And so we put a studio in that space also. However, I don't do music as much as I used to. But yeah, it's pretty modern space where kids can kind of get hands-on experience.
And I have to vouch for it. He's got some bars, y'all. So check him out. He's already dropped a couple songs in the past. So he's got good music taste too. So
thank you.
I'll give y'all that. And as you can see there in some of these videos, let's talk about the See More, Be More. Was something that was really anchoring, this story, and kind of just go into the See More, Be More a little bit for people.
Yeah, so See More, Be More is basically, again, I had got an opportunity to go film on the island of Antigua, beautiful island. We had a police escort. They let me try every fancy restaurant for free, go to every nice hotel for free. I got to have all of these unique experiences. And I'm like, wow, this is like a once in a lifetime kind of trip. And when I left to go to the airport, I seen 4 big words, See More, Be More, right on their airport wall. And I thought in that moment, like, it would be cool to do something where kids can have these same kind of experiences. Because some of us never leave our neighborhood, some of us never leave our state, our city, our region, and things of that nature. In fact, we had a student who declined going on a college trip with us to Virginia because he wanted to go to Dowagiac for the weekend. Now, there's no shade to Dowagiac, but that's kind of how some of us think, where we just kind of stay put. So See More, Be More is really just our motto and kind of what we use to guide everything we do. If you see more, we believe you can be more. And once you have more experiences with positive people, positive opportunities, your mind just starts to expand. And that's what I've learned in my life, and I hope to share that with others.
Love that. You've obviously, you're in a frat, if no one did not know that. You also have a creed you live by. You also just, that helped shape you to the man you are today. I have another video that I want you to react to.
Okay.
When we were at TSU. You basically, you have your name enshrined for the legacy. And this video, I asked you just something about it, and I just let it play, and you give me your thoughts.
Yeah, right now we at what we call Greek Row here at Tennessee State University. All the fraternities, sororities, not all of them, but most of them have a monument, just kind of dedicated to their service, dedicated to what they mean to this campus. My fraternity, Iota Phi Theta fraternity, was the newest fraternity at Tennessee State. It wasn't even here when I first got here. So 25 years ago, 1999, we got founded. I was on the first pledge line, so after the charters came through, I was on that first line. The reason I did it is because I said in 25 years, I want to come back and be a part of history. And now, lo and behold, you see my name and some of the other brothers who were able to be a part of that journey.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Brian Frazier, if you can't see it.
Spring 2000.
Right now we at what we call...
Yeah. So that's I forgot you even recorded that while we were there. But so part of a fraternity, Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated, a fraternity built on change. So we were founded in 1963, right when during the time when the I Have a Dream speech was going out, when Medgar Evers was getting assassinated, the church bombing with the 4 young girls with Bull Connor down in Alabama. So we were founded to be change agents, and it's definitely been embedded in me ever since, doing that back in 2000, being people who are civically engaged, and just trying to make their communities better. So, yeah, man, it was a special moment because I think that weekend you were there. No, that monument got built maybe maybe about a month before that. So that was like brand new. And up until that time, like everybody else had a monument for the most part, but we didn't. So we had just released ours. And to have my name on it, to have my name in history, was definitely one of the reasons why I made my decision.
Love that. And just talk about just how you brought that legacy to South Bend.
Yeah, so it's crazy because when I pledged in 2000, all of my frat brothers pretty much graduated, like right after that. And so I was the only one on campus for many, I was the president, the vice president, the secretary, the treasurer. I was all these things. People would laugh, people would joke, and none of that mattered to me. Really, to me, it meant, hey, I'm a part of an organization that stands for change. So when I got out of school, 2002 until about 2015, I was so burnt out from all things frat, I didn't do much. However, right around that 2018, sometime around there, I started noticing that there was a couple other IOTAs in the city. We didn't know each other, but we had relocated here from different places. So we got together. We said, hey, we need to establish our own chapter here in the city of South Bend. We do have our individual chapters, Tennessee State, Eastern Michigan, all these kind of things, but we need to come together and establish a chapter in South Bend. So it's been 2 years now. We went through all the procedure, all the paperwork, all the rigmarole, what I call, and we got established. And now South Bend, Indiana has their own chapter of Iota Phi Theta. So to tie that story together, at Tennessee State, it was no chapter when I got there. I was a part of the first group of guys who came through. Then in South Bend, there was no chapter when I got here, and I was able to start the chapter here. So it's kind of like a full circle moment.
Full circle, indeed. And as you guys can see in the video, this was a recent turkey giveaway that Brian and the guys did. Brian, just kind of talk about how that experience was for you guys and your goals and whatnot.
Yeah, so about 5 years ago, because I think this was our fourth one, it was right around the time when inflation was going crazy and eggs were $1 billion a carton. And, I don't know if you guys remember that. And it was under the last presidential administration. And so we wanted to do our part to help the community and say, hey, we're going to give back to the community. We all just put in like $50 each. We went out, got 5-6 turkeys, and we handed out about 75 turkeys. And we said, man, that felt really good to be able to help our community. So the next year we said, hey, let's go from 175 to 150 turkeys. So we were able to do that. Then people started seeing the momentum, donating to us. We were able to take it to 500 turkeys this year. And what it means is, you can't really put it into words. It's kind of invaluable to be able to hear people's stories. There was a guy, I think 90-something years old, and he was just kind of sharing like how hard it was for him to keep food on the table and things of this nature. So for us to be out there and giving canned goods and we've partnered with different organizations in the city to sometimes give out just things they could use at home. It's just really special to be able to do that, to be in a position to do that. And next year we want to make it even bigger. This year, while I'm looking at the video, was really special because that's our regional president who came down from Indianapolis. He said, hey, I have to come see this thing in real life. We had people from Detroit come down, people from Chicago and Gary and Indianapolis, and they all just wanted to be a part. And to that point, you haven't heard this from me. I don't know where this podcast is going to go up, but this may become a statewide initiative within our frat where all the chapters across the state do it, and it came from an idea right here in South Bend, Indiana. So,
wow,
it was a pretty great day.
That's major, and just from what I've seen you guys do, again, just in the spirit of the holidays, you guys doing that, it all ties in, man, and you guys definitely need to keep up the good work because it's definitely not going overlooked here at WNDU.
No, we appreciate it too, and it's just fulfilling, I would say, and rewarding to be able to do those things. And then we don't. I always tell the guys, because I'm probably I'm definitely the oldest in the frat. 26 years. And I say we don't do these things to get recognition. I was doing the stuff pre social media. And I see a lot of times nowadays people do stuff just to get likes and just to get comments. And I said, as long as we keep our message and our intent pure, then good things will happen. And that's what I try to preach to the guys. Let's be change agents because we want to be change agents and not because it can get a couple likes on Facebook.
Love that. So, we're going into the New Year's. This is literally New Year's Eve, the day this is recorded. Just what are you looking for? What are your goals for next year? What are you hoping to improve on and bring to the city at least?
I'm looking to improve every day. So if it's New Year's, if it's Halloween, if it's Thanksgiving, we're looking to improve and just continue to take things up each and every day. If I had to be specific, just continue to make bigger impact. Mm-hmm. So, I think we've made some strides with the impact and legacy kind of things that we're doing now, but just to continue to take it to another level. Mm-hmm. I'm a person who's never complacent. And I think that's one of my problems, actually, is that I can't enjoy the moment because I'm thinking about the next. Mm-hmm. So, hey, we just did 500 turkeys, and I'm already thinking, how can I do 5,000 next year? So, that's a goal this year, is to try to live more in the moment, right, and embrace the moments, but continue to keep the foot on the gas and take things to higher levels.
Love that. What in South Bend, I want to just ask you, just because I know you're a good community person, what would you like to see more of in the community?
Anything specific or just in general?
Let's focus on the children, since you play a big role in high schoolers.
So one thing I think I definitely would like to see is sometimes I think when you're in a small community, a smaller community, there's not as much collaboration as it could be, because people may feel a way that, hey, why are you doing it? I can do it too, or don't go to theirs, come to mine. And it's like this competition thing. Yeah. So I would like to see more collaboration. When Tennessee State, for example, when they came here, the biggest message I preached during that whole time was that there's enough sun for everybody to shine. So even though my name may be on a flyer, doesn't mean you can't have equally or greater impact on this weekend. And that's not what it's about anyway. And I think sometimes, like when it comes to our community, is that kind of, it's almost a crab in the barrel mentality. Like, oh, that fraternity is doing it, so I can't support it. That church is doing it, so I can't support it. That school is doing it, so I can't go there. Yes. And I think in South Bend, if we could lose that kind of mentality and just come together, that's one of the things. Even with the turkey drive, we tried to. People think it's just the turkey drive, but I have like multi motives behind it that eventually will come out. And one thing that came out this year is putting kids together from different high schools, right? So when we do events, sometimes we hear, oh, you can't put Adams with Washington because there's going to be a fight, and you can't have Riley. And I don't subscribe to any of that. I think if you lead with the right intention, you can have everybody working together and on the same page. So if I could change anything, that would be the one thing, is to have more collaboration over competition. And for people to realize, like, it doesn't matter. I always say I don't care who gets the credit. I just care that we win, right? And I think if people got that mentality, it doesn't matter if Wade is on the flyer, if Josh is on the flyer, as long as we're all working together and we get a victory from it, that's all that matters to me.
Well, there you go, folks, from the man himself. Is there any message you want to leave the people for the New Year's going in before we get out of here?
New Year, my mentality is what I kind of just said, is don't wait till the New Year. Like, if in March, you can still keep working towards a new goal. In April, in May, and June, every day is can be looked at like a new year. Yes. Yes. So don't put it off. And I think sometimes people get discouraged because, I'm going to work out. I'm going to lose 20 pounds this new year. And then come January, maybe you kind of fell off. Well, it's not too late. It's still January. Like, pick up.
Still got more time.
Even if it's in December, you still got more time. So don't be like limited to this new year thinking like I can only do this thing once the new year starts. Like every day can be looked at as new opportunity, new time, new chance to grow, new time to develop, and that would be my message. Continue just to keep progressing, no matter what day it is, what holiday it is, or anything like that.
There you go, guys. Well, guys, I'm thank you guys for tuning in to this. Like I said, we're excited to bring on more guests that we do. Obviously, Brian is a huge anchor in this community, and just hearing his voice, I hope this gave you guys a better understanding of him and the mission that he's doing. But, we want to say, a Happy New Year's to you all. And that's all for now.
And can I leave one more message?
Please.
So I'm a person who I always forget to tell people, like, about how they can help, right? So all of these stories will happen.
Oh, yeah, please, that. Exactly.
And they're like, hey, you didn't even tell people to go to the website. Because that's never my intention.
Right.
But as we continue to progress, everything we do, it takes some kind of something to sustain.
Exactly.
So if anybody is interested and wants to know more about what we do at Frazier Kid Foundation, you can literally just Google us. We welcome any and all contribution. Sometimes we're giving kids cash to eat. The other week we were in Nashville. You were there. Mm-hmm. We're giving them cash to eat because they left, and parents weren't able to give them money to eat. And then some of the places down there didn't even take cash. So we're going and establishing partnerships where we can get prepaid debit cards, where no matter if they take cash or not, we can still be a blessing. But yeah, so if you want to help the mission, which is to expose at-risk youth to careers in the arts and alternative college options, just visit our website, and we will be more than thankful to have that help.
There it is, guys, FrazierKidFoundation.com. Be sure to check that out if you guys are interested. But, hey, Brian, man, thank you again, man. We really appreciate this. And if we do any more work, we're looking to have you on again in the future, man.
Most definitely. Thank you guys for having me, and everybody have a good New Year.
All right, guys, for your episode of Behind the Lens, until next time.
Peace.